Good evening, viewers, and welcome to this edition of NTV Sports Page. It's Thursday, 24th February, and I'm Curtis Morton. In our headlines, Level 2 swim coaches receive training. And in our feature for this evening, we're taking part 2 of the St. Thomas's Primary School's road runs. We'll take this break, and I'll be right back.
Day one, man! Day one! I'm training. Let's make it happen.
Good afternoon. I'm very sorry. I am at the gym right now. I will have to call you right back.
Well, I'm back, and we start with cricket. Divisions at home and abroad have been sounding off as regards the recent team selections of the Cricket West Indies selectors. The selectors recently released 2 squads, the team for the first Test match versus England and the team to represent the President's 11 in a warm-up game versus the Tourists. To put it mildly, Divisions are overjoyed as regards the selection of Colin Archibald in the President's 11 team after his excellent returns in the 2 regional games played so far. On the other hand, though, some folks are aggrieved over the non-selection of Kyron Powell into either of the squads. The general consensus of opinion is that if he was not included in the Test squad, then he should have been included in the President's 11 team. He has had reasonable returns in the 2 regional matches thus far, getting a 43 and a 73 as part of his batting exploits. Others are saying that he has had sufficient chances and maybe the selectors are looking in another direction. There's also concern over the omission of Rakeem Cornwall out of Antigua, with Veerasamy Permaul included as the lone spinner in the Test team. All in all, however, most pundits are hoping that both teams will acquit themselves well, and even more importantly, that Colin Archibald will grab this opportunity with both hands and break into the Test team before the series is over. Now to swimming. Sunday, 20th February was a very important day for the Level 2 swimming coaches on Nevis. On that day at the Orley Beach, professional swim coach Anne McClendon took them through their paces of coaching swimmers in a competitive environment. Some of the techniques worked on involved the correct way to enter the water, getting out of the starting blocks, and correct swim strokes, along with breathing techniques. Let's take in this. We're here at Orley Beach, and I'm here with Anne McClendon. Of course, you'd have seen her previously, and she's been coming here for a couple of years now to help out with our Swim to Win program. And today we are going to have, I think, the Level 2 swimmers. They're going to do a coaching session. Could you tell us what it will entail?
Yes, thank you. So this morning I have 4 of our Swim to Win Level 2 instructors, and we are going to be going out into the pool at Wally Beach to do some training. So we will be having a swim meet coming up in April. And so the instructors, I'll tell them what we're going to be doing in the meet, and then they can work with our swimmers on developing them in the swimming pool. So Swim to Win, Learn to Swim starts in the sea with basic technique, and then as our swimmers advance, we get them into competition, and that's in this pool. So we'll work on starts and turns and do all sorts of skills in a pool, which is going to be different than what they've been learning just in the open sea.
So that there's some clarity, and in Nevis, yeah, better. In terms of a pool, so for clarity, normally it's a pool, it's at a private home or at a hotel, and people don't associate pool with seawater. So tell us how they created this pool here at Orly Beach.
Okay, that is a great question. So you'll see the pool over my right shoulder. Yes, when we talk about pools, they're on land. But on Nevis, we are hoping to get a land pool soon. We've been working on it. And in the meantime, we have built one in the sea. So Winston Crook is the head of the Swimming Federation for St. Kitts and Nevis. And through an affiliation with FINA, which is the international governing body of swimming, he got the funds, and Winston actually built this sea pool. And there's one here on Nevis, and there's one across the Narrows over on St. Kitts. So while it's not stationary on land, it's still the same distance as a competitive pool that you'll find on land. So it's 25 meters from one end to the other. We have 2 lanes. We have platforms where they will start and finish, and we also have starting blocks. So while it's not your traditional pool, it is what we have here on Nevis, and it's our sea pool.
But that sounds brilliant. You're talking about starting blocks. You're talking about lanes. It almost sounds like the Mondo track here in Nevis where they run in terms of athletic meets. So when you have the meet in April, this is where they're going to actually race back and forth for the 25 meters?
Yes, that's exactly right. So this is where the pool stays. It's secured on the bottom, and so the platforms stay. The lane lines come in and out, so when we are done with our training session today, we'll remove those lane lines, but otherwise this pool is permanently affixed here. So we will continue to do training here with the instructors and the athletes, and this is where we will have our swim meets.
Thank you again so much, Anne. I know you're busy. The coaches are rearing to go, so we'll be taking a close-up as you train them this morning.
Great. Thank you so much, and it's my pleasure to be here.
Thank you. We'll take this break and I'll be back with our feature for this evening.
We represent the students of 4A1 Room 2, and you are watching NTV. CSS, we large and in charge.
Well, I'm back, and tonight, athletics is in the spotlight. Tonight, we're taking part 2 of the road races recently held by the St. Thomas's Primary School.
We had 1 and 2 boys, and they are. And that young fella in the blue, his face looks very serious as he starts the race, and it's a stiff competition between blue and orange here heading up the hill. But as we all know, the race is not for the swift, so we'll see who can endure. So there's a nice bunch up front, a good 5, battling to see who can come out as the victor. Just about reaching the halfway point, or the point of return. The Orange House athlete has not lose momentum either. So the race is very stiff between these two athletes. It will be interesting to see who turns out to be the victor at the end of this race. So we have Blue House, Orange House. Far in the distance we have Orange House and another Blue House. And Blue House has stopped for a split second.
Good job, let's go. Keep up, keep up, keep up.
Perhaps that wouldn't affect his position as he picked back up his pace, but look at the Orange House at least go. Look at them go now. And it's a very serious battle here. And Blue House face alone will tell you that he's a very determined youngster. Very determined. And he means that he's not going to let the fellow in the white shirt who's representing Orange House get the victory on him here today. And Orange House has taken up again, and Blue House is very determined. Although he seems a bit winded, a bit exhausted, the facial expression gives you that impression. The demeanor gives you that impression, and Orange House probably will capitalize now on this opportunity. As you see, Blue House is really, some wind has been blown out his sails. It's easier said than done. So Orange House has taken over, and it seems as though he has taken over this race for good, or taken over this race fully, as the Blue House athlete in the back has literally stopped running and is walking. It's downhill now, and so the race will not be as arduous or challenging from here onward. And the finishing line is just around the corner, so we can comfortably say it looks as though Orange House is going to take this one home. It was a very stiff challenge, a very stiff battle throughout most of the race, but only one can be victor. At least Orange has determined that only one will be the victor here today, and so we see Orange House comfortably heading back in. There you see Blue House coming in second place. Followed by Orange. And this one name seems to be Justice, coming in just about fourth. And we see another greenhouse here has taken the corner in an expeditious fashion, very speed. Coming in strong in 5th place position. More athletes still chiming in for the grade 1 and 2 boys. And this should be the last athlete coming in. Once you see the police vehicle behind, you know that is the final athlete. And he's getting cheered on, which is very good to see. Very nice support here, regardless of the position. Speaks a lot about the character of our people. And the bunch is getting bigger, older, and it's grade 3 and 4. And as always expected, we expect to see a hasty start. So there's that. We are gonna get that out of the way.
Steady, steady, steady. Let it go.
So we have an early leader here in Orange House, followed by a cluster of colors. We have orange, green, and blue in the mix. The athlete in front, she's leading, but she's already started the crying. I don't know if that's perhaps one of the techniques that keeps her going. But she has a very healthy lead. Not very healthy, probably a bit of an overstatement, as the athlete in orange is gaining ground slowly but surely. Perhaps they'll be comfortable with the way the standing is. First place Orange House, second place Orange House. We have a green in the mix and 2 other orange following 9 in the race behind. Orange, green, orange, orange. And there's one constant in all of these races, save the kindergarten race, is the bikeman. The bikeman is either an avid supporter of St. Thomas's or he has lots of relatives here in St. Thomas's. He has been here in every race supporting various athletes. So the Orange House athlete has stopped the crying and seems to be a lot more focused now, realizing that she is in charge of the pack. Although there is a blue house and an orange house lurking not so far back behind.
This are going to right?
No, these are grade 3 and 4.
You sure?
With positive, 3 and 4.
So they're going up in the village?
They're going up by the background, come on, and then they're going to come down by thing.
Background?
They're going up by background.
Gavita, we're coming.
Go down by Gavita and come down by Tan.
So the distance for the grade 3 and 4 girls is a bit longer, of course, naturally, than those previous, which was the grades 1 and 2. So that means they have a bit of a distance to go still. The athlete in the orange is maintaining her pace and lengthening or widening the gap somewhere in the background. And I think that's mommy right there. The energy is always different when it comes to mommies or daddies in these kind of races. A very nice victory here by Asia. That is the name. A very convincing one at the end. Greenhouse taking second place. And we have another Orange House athlete coming in here in third place position. So it's the grade 3 and 4 boys. Still St. Thomas's School, still cross country. Just a totally different batch other than what you've seen all morning, grade 3 and 4 boys. And there's a greenhouse way out in front, followed by another greenhouse, followed by two blue houses. The blue and green seems to be dominating this race thus far. There were a couple of races where Orange House was like in the top of like 5 out of 6. So it's green, green, blue, blue. Looks as though it's going to be a battle between these two color houses. Greenhouse way in front, way in front. And there he is, coming in first. The others are very far behind.
Well, that's our package for this evening. I am Curtis Morton reminding you that you can watch sports if you're not fit. But to play sports requires fitness, diligence, and sacrifice. Have a good night.